Good evening, East Alabama. Welcome into the locker room on this Friday afternoon. My name's Namath Pitts. Hey, I want to remind you to hit that like and follow button on our East Alabama Now page so that you don't miss the locker room. We're about to go back to 5 days a week in just a couple weeks. In the meantime, though, we are broadcasting 3 days a week. Don't forget that we have our East Alabama Now news tonight at 6:30 p.m. John Holder always brings us our weather. There's no telling what street he's going to be on tonight with weather on your street. Mike Stedman, Katie Edwards always bring you our local news. And of course, I bring you your sports. Hey, today we are going to be previewing the Northeast Alabama Youth Athletics Jamboree games that are set to take place tomorrow. Now, the Jamboree games are going to be 2 different weekends, with the first weekend being tomorrow, and then the second weekend will follow. Now, tomorrow's games will be at Mumford High School. There will be 12 games, which means there will be 8 teams that hit the field tomorrow, whether it's, of course, sophomores, juniors, seniors. So, again, there's going to be, I believe, 3, 6, 9, 12 games tomorrow out of 8 teams. And so we're going to preview those games, and we're going to start by previewing the first game that will be played tomorrow, which will feature the Oxford Yellow Jackets versus the Mumford Lions. Now, the sophomores will take the field at 9 a.m. The juniors will hit the field at 9:30 a.m., and then the seniors will hit the field at 10 a.m. Now, you're probably wondering how these games are going to work, these Jamboree games. Well, first of all, you're going to have weigh-ins tomorrow morning. So Mumford sophomores are going to weigh in at 8:15 a.m. Oxford sophomores are going to weigh in at 8:30 a.m., and then they're going to hit the field at 9. Mumford juniors are going to weigh in at 8:45 a.m., and Oxford juniors are going to weigh in at 9 a.m. They'll hit the field at 9:30 a.m. Then at 9:15 a.m., the Mumford seniors will weigh in, and at 9:30, the Oxford seniors will weigh in, and so those two will hit the field at 10 a.m. Now, the cheerleaders will perform. Of course, the cheerleaders will perform tomorrow as well at Mumford. The games will be 2 10-minute quarters with running clock, 1 timeout with a 6-minute halftime where the cheerleaders will have the opportunity to perform. And they will also have, the officials will have the ability to call heat timeouts because obviously with the humidity and things, it's really hot right now in Alabama. So tomorrow, the first Jamboree will feature Oxford and Mumford. Now, both of these teams played, of course, in the league last year. They aren't, additions from the offseason. They were already here. And one thing that I wanted to do today to just kind of get you guys ready for the Jamboree is I wanted to show you highlights from last year. Now, our highlights are presented by the Joey Cruz team with the Keller Williams Realty Group. So I want to take a moment to let my good friend Chad Barnett tell you more about the Joey Cruz team.
When finding your next home, you need someone who knows the area inside and out. That's why you need to call us. Hey everybody, Chad Barnett here with the Joey Cruz team at Keller Williams Realty Group. When it's time to move, you need someone who will advertise your home, show prospective buyers, negotiate the purchase contract, arrange financing, all of the ins and outs of buying and selling. But the best thing about the Joey Cruz team is we have individual specialized agents working for you. If we come list your home, that listing agent will be on your side of the table all the time. The buyer will be shown by another agent. This keeps your interest at the utmost respect on our side. We will always be on your side of the table. We can take care of everything you need from start to close, like staging, home repairs, minor improvements, whatever's going to make your house look the best when it's time to go on the market. That is what we do. Our job here at the Joey Cruz team is pretty simple. Make you the most money in the shortest amount of time with the least amount of hassle. So if you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, call the Joey Cruz team today and let us put your real estate needs in cruise control.
Thank you, Chad, and we appreciate the Joey Cruz team for being a highlight sponsor of the locker room. Now, the first highlights we're going to show you are from Oxford last year, their seniors group who hits the field tomorrow. You saw it right there. They're going to hit the field at 10 a.m. tomorrow. Our first highlights we're going to show you are Oxford seniors who went head-to-head with Sac seniors last year. So without further ado, here are the highlights of Oxford seniors against Sac seniors last year. team that Oxford will be playing tomorrow in their Jamboree is the Montford Lions. Now, you see right there, Montford as well hitting the field. And again, I showed you highlights of the Oxford seniors. Well, the Oxford seniors will be playing the Montford seniors. So I thought, why not also show you Montford senior highlights from last year? And Montford went head-to-head against Sachs, the same team that we showed you highlights of between Oxford and Sachs. We're now going to show you highlights between Montford and Sachs. So here are the Joey Cruz team highlights of Montford and Sachs seniors. All right, you saw the highlights. So again, the first game tomorrow will be at 9 a.m. and then the second one will be at 9:30 and then 10 a.m. And that'll be the first set of teams that hit the field tomorrow for the Jamboree. Now, after that, we'll have two more teams hit the field, and it'll be the Lincoln Golden Bears and the White Plains Wildcats. Now, Lincoln sophomores will weigh in at 9:45 a.m. The White Plains sophomores will weigh in at 10 a.m. And then those two teams will hit the field at 10:45 a.m. At 10:15 a.m., the juniors will weigh in for Lincoln. At 10:30, White Plains juniors will weigh in. Those two teams will hit the field at 11:15 a.m. And then at 10:45 a.m., the Lincoln seniors will weigh in. And at 11 a.m., the White Plains seniors will weigh in. And those two teams will hit the field at 11:45 a.m. tomorrow. So the first set of Jamboree games will feature Oxford and Mumford. By the way, Oxford will not have 2 teams per division this year. It'll just be 1 team. Then the second Jamboree will be Lincoln and White Plains. Now, we actually didn't get many highlights of Lincoln and White Plains last year, so I don't have any highlights of these 2 teams to show you. But again, we'll have highlights of these 2 next Monday on the Locker Room. Tyler Schmidt will be there tomorrow getting highlights of the game. So Monday, we will have highlights of the Northeast Alabama Youth Athletics Jamboree games that are taking place tomorrow at Mumford. All right, so I do want to give a little shout out, though, to my boy DJ Roden, who is from Welborn. His son plays for White Plains this year, so I'm excited to see how they're going to do. But those are the first set of Jamboree games tomorrow. Hey, when we come back, we're going to take a closer look at Jacksonville and Sacs. Those teams are playing this weekend. We're going to show you highlights of these teams from a year ago, so don't go away. We'll be right back as we continue on the Locker Room.
We live in a world that moves quickly, and while we are able to connect faster than ever through technology, maybe you've noticed that real connection is hard to come by. Parker Memorial Baptist Church offers you a place to connect, a place to learn more about Jesus and the difference He can make in your life, a place to build relationships with like-minded believers, or maybe discover what it means to be a follower of Jesus Christ, a place to use the gifts and talents God has given you, a place where we love God and we love you. Parker Memorial Baptist Church, 1205 Quintard Avenue, Anniston. Visit our website for details.
Welcome back into the Locker Room on this Friday afternoon. My name is Namath Pitts, and today we are previewing the Northeast Alabama Youth Athletics Jamboree games that are set to take place tomorrow. Those games will be at Mumford High School. And again, we want to thank Northeast Alabama Youth Athletics for all they do for our area in terms of youth football. I think it is the standard when it comes to a football league of youth sports. I think they do a great job. Can't speak enough about Chris and Daryl, and the guys that continue to do their best to put their foot forward to try to bring us the best local youth football in the area. I think they do that. So let's move on. We talked about Oxford and Mumford. Those 2 are set to play tomorrow. Lincoln and White Plains will play tomorrow. And then the third set of Jamboree games will feature the Jacksonville Golden Eagles and the Sacs Wildcats. Now, I'm a little biased to the Sacs Wildcats. My older brother Dalton coaches the seniors and the juniors this year, so I'm wishing them best of luck. They will go head-to-head against Jacksonville. Now, Jacksonville sophomores will weigh in at 11:30 a.m., and then Sacs sophomores will weigh in at 11:45 a.m. Those 2 teams will hit the field and play at 12:30 p.m. Then the Jacksonville juniors will weigh in at 12 p.m., and the Sacs juniors will weigh in at 12:15 p.m. Those 2 teams will hit the field at 1 o'clock p.m., and then the last 2 teams, of course, the Jacksonville seniors, they'll weigh in at 12:30 p.m., and Sacs seniors will weigh in at 12:45 p.m., and those 2 teams will hit the field at 1:30 p.m. Now, I want to talk about these 2 teams and show you some highlights of these 2 teams from last season. We're going to talk about the sophomore division to start. The Sacs sophomores made the championship game last year. Now, they failed to Piedmont, but they did make the championship game under Coach Jose, and I think Coach Jose has some good pieces coming back this year. So we're going to show you some highlights of Sacs from the championship game a year ago against Piedmont. So here's our Joey Cruz team highlights of the Sacs sophomores versus the Piedmont sophomores. saw the Sacs sophomores playing in the championship game a year ago. Well, tomorrow they're going to go head-to-head against Jacksonville. But I want to talk about Jacksonville's juniors group, because this was a group that had really, really good numbers last year offensively and defensively. I think they didn't give up like 24 points all season long. They won the championship, and they beat a really, really good Alexandria team that was led by my good friend Wiley Finley, who was the quarterback for Alexandria, and Jacksonville beat them in the championship game. So we showed you highlights of Sacs sophomores to get you Jacksonville fans prepared. Here's highlights of Jacksonville juniors winning the championship last year over Alexandria. Here's our Joey Cruz team highlights. All right, I'm really looking forward to seeing Jacksonville and Sacs go head-to-head tomorrow. I think both of these teams are well coached. And again, the sophomores group will hit the field at 12:30 p.m., and then the juniors will play at 1 p.m., and then at 1:30 p.m., the seniors will play. My brother Dalton coaches the seniors and juniors, so I'm wishing them best of luck this season. Wishing Jacksonville best of luck. Hey, great hospitality from Jacksonville last year and all the times that we went out to see the Golden Eagles. And hey, don't forget about both of these cheer squads. And one thing that I really loved about Jacksonville last year was they had a dance line majorette team, and that was something that not a lot of schools had. So looking forward to continuing to see what both of these teams do this year. And again, guys, we will have the highlights on Monday right here on the Locker Room. Tyler Schmidt will be at Mumford tomorrow getting the highlights for us. All right, hey, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk Alexandria and Welborn. David Wormy Haynes, 55 years coaching youth football. He's going to go head-to-head this week against a really, really good Alexandria team. We'll be right back as we continue on the Locker Room.
For over 60 years, Oxford Lumber has been servicing our area, and our customer service has always been our main focus. Our customer service is what sets us apart from anyone else. From the moment you enter, our highly trained staff will treat you like family.
To enthusiastically provide total customer satisfaction within a positive and self-fulfilling employee relations environment. Visit us at any of our 4 locations or at oxfordlumber.com.
Since 1993, WM Grocery has been a major part of our local community. WM offers the very best in fresh produce and an outstanding meat department. WM also has many local products not found anywhere else and fresh sushi every day. If you need an event catered, come see Mrs. K at any WM store. Curbside pickup is also available for your online grocery orders. Be sure to download the WM app for all the deals of the week and shopper rewards. Go check them out today at any of their locations.
We take pride in our community and appreciate your business.
For metal buildings in Alabama and the Southeast, Waldrop Manufacturing is your one-stop source. A Waldrop metal building provides the coverage and protection your investments need. They specialize in carports, RV covers, portable buildings, and storage buildings. Stop paying rent for storage. With Waldrop's price per foot, you can actually save money by buying straight from the manufacturer. Waldrop buildings are guaranteed because Waldrop manufactures buildings with U.S. steel right here in Calhoun County. Waldrop Manufacturing, serving the entire Southeast. Give them a call today.
We are back on the Locker Room on this Friday afternoon, and we are going to close out the show by talking about Alexandria and Walter Wellborn. These two teams are set to play in the Jamboree game tomorrow. I think the tradition for Wellborn and Alexandria runs way past youth football, but you got to look at what these two teams have in youth football. Alexandria's seniors won the championship a year ago. The juniors played for the championship. Both of these teams, I think, are going to be really good this season. And for Wellborn, it's all about tradition. It's about history. David Wormy Haynes is entering his 55th year coaching youth football at Wellborn. He coached Wellborn head coach Jeff Smith. He coached Jeff Smith's son, Jet Smith. He's coached everybody in between. And how about Jonathan Screws? 12-plus years of coaching in youth football. He's coached guys like Jet Smith, Noah Screws, the Gilbert twins. Jonathan coached me. So he's seen a lot of guys come up through the years. We did a little preview on Wellborn youth football earlier this week. We are going to show you highlights of both of these teams, so let's tell you a little bit about these two teams that are going to be hitting the field this week. Now, Alexandria and Wellborn, much like all the other teams, will weigh in before they hit the field. The first weigh-in for these two teams will be at 1:15 p.m., then it'll follow at 1:30 p.m., of course, 1:45 p.m., 2 p.m., and then the senior group will weigh in at 2:15 and 2:30. But the sophomores, Wellborn and Alexandria sophomores, will hit the field at 2:15 p.m., The juniors, Wellborn coached by my good friend Jonathan Screws, Wiley Finley back at quarterback for Alexandria. Those two teams will hit the field at 2:45 p.m. And then the big question for Alexandria is they don't have Ashton Bruner this year. They're going to have to replace their pretty much all Northeast Alabama Youth Athletics running back, in my opinion. But, of course, they've got talent. They're going to be really good. Wormy's team will go head-to-head with them at 3:15 p.m. So Alexandria and Wellborn will play at 2:15, 2:45, and 3:15. And much like we've done with all the other teams today, I do want to show you some highlights of these two programs from last year. We'll start with Alexandria. I told you about Bruner. He's headed to 7th grade, so they're going to have to replace him. But he was a big reason why they won the championship game over Anniston. So let's go back to last year and see Coach Krill's team. They defeated Anniston in the Northeast Alabama Youth Athletics Senior Division Championship game. Here is the Joey Cruz team highlights. Walter Welborn last year didn't make it to the championship game. I say unfortunately, being a Welborn guy. For Wormy's team, though, his numbers are up this year. Probably the first time since COVID. They've got larger numbers this year than they've had a long time. But I want to talk about Jonathan Screws and the Welborn Junior team for a minute. Now, they didn't really have much of a line last year, and he'll tell you their numbers are also up this year. He feels really good about the line. And Hayden Ford was a big-time player for Welborn last year. They had a good showing against Oxford last year, Oxford A at Oxford. So I want to show you highlights of Walter Welborn and Oxford A last year from Oxford. So here are the highlights presented by the Joey Cruz team. Where we've got highlights from this Saturday's Oxford A and Welborn Juniors Division. That was Oxford's Christian Morris with a 4-yard run tackled by Hayden Ford. Right here, the Oxford A Juniors on offense. Oxford's Braden Jones carries the ball towards the Oxford sideline before being tackled by a slew of Panthers. Great broken tackle right there by Braden Jones, but he's ultimately tackled. Braden Jones is going to call his number again. You're going to hear a lot of Braden Jones today. This time he's going to get towards the Oxford sideline again before being tackled by Julio Gonzalez. This time, Oxford's Braden Jones is going to carry it 15 yards. Touchdown, Oxford. The Yellow Jackets, Braden Jones is going to carry this one in. A little late push, ain't going to do nothing, but it's going to be some more points for the Yellow Jackets. The Braden Jones highlight reel continues. This time he's going to look at that face mask. Just missed the face mask, got the shoulder. Great power right there. He's going to take this one down deep into Welborn territory before being tackled at the 12-yard line by Caden Montrey. Oxford's quarterback Landon Warren. This time he's going to step back, looking to the end zone. It's going to be intercepted by Welborn's Nick Halfley. How about that? Welborn's now on offense. You're going to hear this name a lot. Hayden Ford. He's going to carry up the middle. He's going to get a nice little gain for the Welborn Panthers. Nolan McVeigh now showing some power as he runs up the middle before being tackled by some Oxford defenders. Welborn back on offense again. Under center. And this time they're going to hand off to Hayden Ford. Look at this cut right here, back inside. Look at this right here, showing some elusiveness. And he will be tackled by the face mask for a penalty. Welborn now inside the Oxford red zone. They're going to hand it off to Hayden Ford again. And this time he's going to carry it right up the middle. And he's going to be tackled by Oxford. Nice stop by the Yellow Jacket defense. Walter Welborn again, looking to get in the end zone. Who are they going to hand it to? None other than Hayden Ford. This time he's going to carry it. He's going to nice play right there. Great visions. He's going to be tackled outside, out of bounds at the 4-yard line. Going to be a penalty. That's going to bring Welborn back. So if you just had a penalty, guess who had the big play? Hayden Ford. So what are we going to do? Hand it to Hayden Ford. Here he is again, powering his way up the middle. Tackled by a couple Oxford defenders. Look at this play right here. Beautiful step back pass by Marquise Trail. Look at this pass. This is impressive. In the end zone, and it finds the hands of none other than Hayden Ford for guess what? Touchdown Welborn. The Panthers are going to find the end zone. And look at this. We've got some youth football players for the Oxford Yellow Jackets. One little cheer match. So put me on camera, baby. Here's the Walter Welborn cheerleaders cheering on their Welborn Panthers. And then the Oxford Yellow Jackets doing the same, cheering on their Jackets. And this was a classic. I can't wait to see how these two teams do against each other. And again, we will have the highlights right here on the Locker Room come Monday. Tyler Schmidt will be there tomorrow. Again, you see it right here. Alexandria and Welborn sophomores will hit the field at 2:15 p.m. Then the juniors will hit the field at 2:45 p.m. And to close the day at 3:15 p.m. The final Jamboree of the day will be Alexandria and Welborn seniors at 3:15 p.m. That's going to do it for us today on the Locker Room. That's going to do it for us for the week. We hope that you have a great weekend. We can't wait to see everybody tomorrow at Montford for the Jamboree games. Other than that, I hope you'll join me back here on Monday for the highlights of the Northeast Alabama Youth Athletics Jamboree games. Hey, join me on East Alabama Now News tonight at 6:30 p.m. And hey, that's going to do it for us. Thank you for watching the Locker Room.